Real world issues over online dramas. Exactly. I'll get my take on like takes if I feel like they're important, but you know, that's about it. All right, Hill. All right. All right. What you got for me? More COVID-19 shit? Since this appears to be the theme, the COVID-19 endgame may be here by Michael Van Beek. Who the fuck are you, Mr. Michael Van Beek? Michael Van Beek, Director of Research, Mackinac Center. Oh, he lives actually pretty close by to me. He's a Michigander. Joined the Mackinac Center in June 2009 as Director of Education Policy. Okay. Who gives a shit about his favorite color? Don't fucking tell me his favorite color. After a nearly 2-year obsession with the COVID-19 pandemic. What? Obsession? Many Americans seem to be ready to move on from social distancing mandates. Oh, God, I'm going to hate this. Their appetites for lockdowns and the like are low, and some politicians are paying attention. Only a few are issuing new mandates in the face of increased viral transmission as the new dominant Omicron variant. This may signal the end game for the government's response to COVID-19, but why did it take so long? What in the absolute horrible fuck are you? Oh my God. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my fucking mind. This first paragraph right here is everything that is wrong with the conversation in this country regarding COVID-19. It downplays its lethality. It downplays its effect on people. It completely opts to care more about my freedoms, my consumerism, rather than what's actually good for public health. It downplays the measures that have been taken into place to mitigate the spread. It doesn't talk about vaccines, for one. And it just bases it off of just people wanting to feel better and get back to normal, rather than what is actually important, which is people not fucking dying. People not ending up with long COVID. Did we go through this with polio? No. For one thing, the polio vaccine was released on the open source. Everyone could get it. Everyone had it. This is going to fucking hurt. If public officials gradually lift mandates as the numbers of infections decline and stay low. What's it like to be that wrong? Just lies. Here, we're dragging this over here for convenience. The infections are declining because the infected are dying. There is no issue. It's not even declining. Look, here's our peak in 2020. This is where we're at now. It is higher than our peak. There were anti-vax people for polio, but very, very few. Yeah. Polio was the childhood boogeyman, yet it only killed about 30,000 a year in the U.S. And even then, that should be enough to like make people want to pay attention. Here we are with fucking, where are we at? Oh, 819,000 people in 2 years. Dead. Still averaging 266,000 people. 266,000 new cases in a 7-day average. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. This is gonna fucking hurt. Sadly, that is not the case. COVID-19 is just as prevalent as it ever was. Okay. And in some areas of the country, even more so. All right. Okay. Thank you for living in fucking reality. That first paragraph is still dog shit. With polio, people took it not only as personal safety for their families, but as a national pride deal. Military assisted in going down to town and giving vaccines in school gyms and churches. People lined up. You're telling me that the government just went ahead and gave everybody a vaccine? But how much did that cost? Oh my God, my pearls. Wow, imagine that. The thing that we should be doing and aren't. Nope. You got to go to fucking Rite Aid or Walgreens, schedule a time, and put in your insurance information. And, you know, maybe then after a little bit you get there, you got to take time off of work, which you'll be penalized for by not having enough money. Oh, and by the way, we politicized all this along party lines, because that's a smart thing to do. Jesus Christ. Yes, people can boost their protection with vaccines, but vaccines by themselves do not appear capable of stopping COVID-19 from threatening healthcare capacity. The original rationale provided for social distancing mandates. Our vaccination rates are incredibly low in the world. Also, variants are coming out of areas where we refuse to allow them to have vaccines in order to prevent variants from happening. Although I still hold the idea that we're going to find out years down the road that the Omicron variant was created in the US. And by created, I mean it was adapted by within a community that had a high amount of COVID within a person, and they traveled to like various parts of the world, including South Africa. Hey, it's good to see you. So just want to go ahead and specify a few things here. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer provides a clear example of how the approach to COVID-19 has changed, given the extraordinary measures she took in 2020 to stop the spread of this coronavirus. An explanation is needed for why she refuses to do likewise now. Last year, Whitmer took it upon herself to decide which outdoor activities were safe enough for the public to engage in. I have an answer for this, but I'm going to finish this paragraph. Golf courses, for example, were deemed safe for walking, but not for playing golf, a distinction that Mark Twain and many others would reject. Interesting. Actually, I have some evidence that it did originate in a remote area of the world that would be more remote than 99% of the U.S. Omicron variant wasn't a mutation from Delta. It was a mutation that is possibly older than Alpha. Okay. All right. Well, now I know. If I repeat that again, just remind me of that. Sometimes I forget shit, but that's good to know. I'm still waiting for a variant to come out of the U.S., and I feel like that variant is going to be worse than all of them because of how fucking belligerent we are in this country. We'll have the best variant, folks. It'll kill everybody. The thing I want to go ahead and point out regarding that last paragraph, meanwhile, Lansing Hospital isn't taking in minutes, is that the reason why Whitmer isn't taking the same actions as she did last time is her legal authority to do so was removed from her by our conservative Congress. So that's why she's not taking the measures, because she can't. Also, she's a neoliberal, and she probably wouldn't at this point, because the leader of the party, the president of the United States, has basically said that, there's nothing we can do. We're leaving it up to the states. And the states are going, I don't know. I'm just going to keep jerking my dick. With Michigan currently facing double-digit test positivity rates, filled hospitals, and sustained growth in COVID-19 deaths, Whitmer has switched tactics. She apparently believes the proper role for the state now is to simply issue advisories and leave the decisions about social distancing to local governments and private individuals. Because her emergency powers were repealed. She didn't want to be Grinchin this year again. Remember last year? Yeah. Well, she can't. She actually cannot. They took the powers away from her to do that. So this idea of why isn't she acting like she used to? Because she can't do that. Why am I not driving a fucking PT Cruiser still? Oh, right, because it was taken from me and also it broke down. Also, that car sucks. But I'm just saying, like, I had a thing. I no longer have it. Why do I not still have it? Because I don't. Through actions not of my own choosing. That's why. How can you have this question? How can you sit there with a straight face and be like, why is she still doing this thing like she did last year? I don't know, because she cannot. Because it was taken from her. Fuck me. Republicans even have the entire state convinced that the choice they have in the MDHHS is a Democrat who refuses to do anything either. Yeah. Oh my God. With Michigan, switch statutes, he apparently believes the proper role for the state is now to simply issue advisories and leave the decisions about social distancing to local governments and private individuals. Many other governors, including Colorado's Jared Polis, Pennsylvania's Tom Wolf, and Wisconsin's Tony Evers, have joined Whitmer in not imposing new restrictions during the latest wave. Government's machines got to keep turning, people. Got to get back to work. Let's get back to work. Come on. Crack that whip. Whip it good, motherfucker. Get back to work. This machine needs to keep churning out money. Rich people's fucking stock prices were starting to drop. You gotta get back to work. You think you're a freedom? You're a fucking freedom. I mean, you do. You could quit, but no. We don't want to actually tell you that you actually are incentivized to not quit, because otherwise you would fucking die. I might have attempted to call out today. Do it only if you can afford it. The coercive nature of capitalism requires you to go to work, though. I can't believe this. Leaving the pandemic mitigation effort to local authorities and individuals is a marked departure from the approach of 2020. Idiot. But it is not an ill-conceived concept. It is incredibly ill-conceived. In fact, it is what most government-produced pandemic plans recommended before COVID-19. Yeah, but they were wrong. Elizabeth Hertel is the one who could make the call in Michigan. But I'd rather hang out here and talk shit on these goals. Yeah, yeah. And last year, after being appointed director of MDHHS, she took a vacation in Arkansas mid-lockdown. Well... become self-employed. I do what I want when I want. I also am perpetually broke. I have no savings and likely won't ever be able to retire. Yay. About the rise of the dickhead left. Time to become dickheads. Yeah, apparently. No, I'm pretty sure that already exists. A lot of us are dickheads. Philip Magnus and Peter Early recently documented this in an opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal. Mass quarantines, forced isolation, and most of the other strategies that governments used in 2020 were not endorsed by experts, including the World Health Organization. I would like to see you expand on that statement, because, motherfucker, what? Why was this light touch approach eschewed last year, especially when the COVID-19 numbers were considerably lower than they are now? Pretty sure WHO endorsed lockdowns. They absolutely did. In summer 2020, for example, gyms, indoor bars, movie theaters, and a host of other businesses that government officials deemed non-essential were forced to remain closed in many states. Mask mandates, some enforced with criminal penalties, were imposed and even expanded. There are far more positive tests and hospitalizations now than most states were dealing with then, but the severe measures have not returned. I have a guess why. I can make a sound with my little button here that can tell us exactly why this went down. Here at that time? Yeah. It's money. People want money. It's because the rich people, they want to make more money. They want to get richer. And they started to see that they couldn't get rich without us. But they don't want us to realize that they rely on us for, their money. This thing. This fucking troubles me. When asked about this change in strategy, many health officials and politicians point to vaccines, claiming they make all the difference. They do not. But it's clear that although the vaccines can decrease the chance of severe illness, they do not prevent the transmission of the virus. What is this hot link? Because that's wrong. COVID-19 vaccines are effective at preventing infection, serious illness, and death. Most people who get COVID-19 are unvaccinated. However, since vaccines are not 100% effective at preventing infection, some people who are fully vaccinated still get COVID-19. An infection of fully vaccinated person is referred to as vaccine. Okay. This is your proof? This is your fucking proof.
Competition would start kicking in.
We do have the power of choice, though, if a low-income person is very organized and decisive with expenditure. So what? I don't know what you mean by that. I find it odd how bold the lies in this article are. First, it was COVID rates are declining when they're increasing, and then it's WHO not endorsing lockdowns, and now it's citing sources that only kind of half agrees with them. Yeah, I know. It completely ignores. It completely ignores the word mitigation, reduction. There's a reason why I shout these fucking words to the fucking ether. If I only have 5,000 a year to live on, I ain't giving it all to the rich people. I'll do without. I'll live in another way. What they want me. Eat this, buy this, go here, travel there. Nah, I don't need it. You're still giving them money though. It's all science, obviously. Yeah, like there's no there's a reason why, like. You can prove positive scientific theory, but they're still called scientific theories because there's additional information that can be added on later. Nothing is 100%. We don't know everything about every single thing possible. New information is obtained. The same is true of science as it is in fucking medical care, which is a science. There's no 100% treatment for goddamn anything. I'll eat my 13 cents of spaghetti for lunch with a 12-cent potato and call it lunch. And spending... Oh, so you're not in the U.S. Okay, so then you don't understand. There's no such thing as 13-cent spaghetti or a 12-cent potato. If you only have 5,000, you still need food, which likely gives you money. It gives money to rich people unless you grow it yourself. And in that case, you likely still need a roof over your head, which also gives them money. Yeah. We do here in Walmart, UK. Yeah, our shit costs a lot more than that. I love when people realize that the last step of scientific method is retest. This makes me happy. I'm glad. Because, yes, that's the fucking truth. This idea that, where this thing says, what else did it say? There's more. Can it be recreated? Oh, I found this study. Okay, when it was recreated, did it actually hold up to the retesting? No. What was the sample size? Incredibly small? Well, then fuck off. You're wrong. Like if it's, oh my God. You're taking outliers and presenting them as facts rather than anecdotes. You're working from a point of, I'm already correct, and here's why, rather than starting from a position of, I wonder if I'm correct in this. Like, Jesus Christ. If potatoes only cost 12 cents, I'd be doing pretty good. Yeah, seriously. Oh God, it's so frustrating. Starting from this position of, it doesn't, God, how did he phrase it? Do not prevent the transmission of the virus. Yes, nothing prevents that. But does it mitigate it? Does it reduce it? Holy fuck, yes, it does. Oh my God. This article sucks. There's a mathematical reason to this as well. It goes beyond scientific reasoning to a mathematical axiom. You're saying words that I'm not quite. I think I get. Gotta remember, also ADHD in a different way. I think. Let's get back to this absolutely punishing article. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Probability doesn't really allow for 100% and is the short version. Thank you. Now you're speaking my language. I'm having a shit day in corporate accounting, and you made me happy. Statistics, theory, thesis. None of these words are concrete. I'm so glad, and I hope I continue to do that. I appreciate you so much. I'm just a small boy trying to find growth in a ridiculous world, and you've helped that. I really do appreciate it. All jokes aside, not entirely true, but the best I can give you. God, my body wants to reject this like fucking crazy. Furthermore, their effectiveness wanes over time, hence the need for boosters. I hate it so much. Daddy hates it. Daddy doesn't like it at all. That's a good way of putting it, Ace. At least somebody of some intelligence is offering something to me, because this is sapping my fucking soul. Holy fuck. Their effectiveness wanes over time. Yes, because variants come into play. Variants happen. Yes, this is a thing that exists because of our completely shit response to tackling COVID-19 and our complete lack of lockdowns. Are you goddamn kidding me? Oh my God. How? This is more torture than that time we read that article that was like 90% dad jokes. At least that one was pro-vaccine and arguing for effective measures against COVID. What's going on? I just woke up and getting something. I'm reading the worst goddamn article. It just popped up on my feed, and we are reacting in real time. We are full on React Andy in the worst possible way. I hate it. This article just lies. That's what it is. I'm not having a stroke. Not yet. The conditions to pre-stroke? Probably. Not the good kind of stroke. What's the good kind of stroke? America's hatred of science is baffling. Our news, our government, etc. All of them seem to just make scientifically illiterate statements and missing the point of everything. I searched this guy. He's fucking like. Well, I didn't. Was he a doctor? He was an educator. So while vaccines certainly help, they may not be the game changers we all hoped they'd be. So what changed? One factor that may be influencing public officials is demonstrated by what recently happened at Cornell University. The school has vaccine and mask mandates for everyone on campus, with 97% fully vaccinated. Yet the college announced it was closing because too many COVID-19 cases. If outbreaks cannot be prevented in such an environment, it is unlikely that they can be prevented among the general public. Because we forced the kids into small spaces with each other that allowed them to be exposed to each other's COVID-19 that they probably brought home from their house, that from fucking Red County, whatever. and their dad was like, oh, don't get vaccinated, that'll give you the clap, it'll make your penis fall off and make you demasculated. Like, holy shit, I hate this so much. It's ignoring the obvious. It's ignoring the completely obvious in favor of just full on just narrative. It's all narrative. I'm so tired of the articles that just cause people to stutter through them, as you can only slow blank while reading them. I know. And you know, there's just people reading this like, yeah, see, that's why them libs, they're take my job, they're my freedoms. Holy fucking shit. I hate this. Even politicians who were big lockdown proponents may be realizing that this virus simply can't be stopped. Remember what I said during our discussion with Spectre about the likelihood that we're just going to start normalizing it? I hate it when I'm right because I'm wrong about terrible things. Holy shit. I get the vibe that this author is pretty doom-pilled. Like, he's ready to put some rocks in his pockets and just walk into, like, you know, he's just like, he's full on Joe Friday, like, fuck it, let everybody die. Nothing else is working. Why did you refresh? God, I hate the Hill. Hill's website sucks. Everything sucks. All of it. Just all of it. This article was specifically designed to break my soul. I'm just gonna go die now. We did nothing and it didn't work. I guess we have to live with it now. Yeah, seriously. We tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. Good old Simpsons. Ah, the good Simpsons. Officials increasingly are treating COVID-19 like a severe weather event. They don't try to stop it, but they help the public prepare for and minimize its damage. They're not even doing that. You haven't even made the argument that they're doing that. Your entire argument is, what if we just say fuck it and give in? I, for one, welcome our new virus overlords. Like, holy shit. And then recover when the emergency wanes, which we have not done. We haven't gotten out of the emergency. We're still in it. This could have been the approach with COVID-19 all along. Fucking why? Why would we do that? Haven't even made the case for that. Just to set a bunch of bullshit that is just lies. Then contradicts it. And then is like, well, maybe we should have just said fuck it all along and let everybody just die. See, it's moments like this is why I have a limiter on my microphone. Thank your ears if you wear headphones. I apologize if it was still too loud. I'll adjust my leveler, my limiter as it needs to be. Would Americans be interested in seeing how other countries handled COVID and how it compares to what we did? Nope, that's communism. Well, it does help fuel my neighbor. Maybe their 10-foot banner is right. Maybe the last variant will be communism. God, I hope so. It's that God, was it a drill tweet of the dude saying, guy who's only seen knocked up before. This is giving me knocked up energy. I'm subjecting you to this because I have to be subjected to it. Because when I get off stream, you know what fucking sucks? I'm going to read this article. And if I don't read it now, then I'll read it offline. And I won't be able to share how unbelievably ridiculous this is and how angry it makes me. I'll just be sitting there fuming in my house all alone. I watched Don't Look Up the other day and had the same feeling. Let's focus on the important things like Elon and Meta. Yeah. I haven't watched that yet. I need to. Glam watched it on her own and she loved it. And she's like, we need to watch it. We need to watch it. And it's just like, haven't had time for a movie or in the mood for it. We'll hold your hand through it. Power through. Yes. I cannot tell you how likely I'm going to take a bunch of Motrin after this, because... Okay. Where were we? I can't even remember where we were. Oh, it was this fucking sentence. It was this sentence that broke me. Public officials might have focused from the start on providing people with reliable information they could use to protect themselves based on their circumstances, needs, and risk preferences. That's a sentence. That is a sentence. I loved it and hated it at the same time. It was too real. You get about an hour in and begin to just get sad. I know. Yeah. God, I think I need a Joker emote at this point. Why am I fighting the idea of a Joker emote? I don't even know what that would look like. I love that they allowed me to hate Jonah Hill's characters again. Is he a dickhead in it? I can't wait to see it. I'm trying to decipher this, like his prescription is what then? Give people reliable information. We gave people reliable information as it was available. This is a new thing. We gave people information based on what we had at the time, and information changed as we learned more to protect themselves based on their circumstances, needs, and risk preferences. It's up to the individual. There, I got it. Labor machine go burr. Yeah. It's individualized. Just individualize it. If you want to stay home for work, well, you can do that. You may lose your job and your home, but that's not our problem. What society? I don't even fucking know. Jesus fucking Christ. The idiot voice doesn't even work with this guy. In order to throw money at issues to fix them, we need to force people to make money for us. Yeah, apparently. And then just, of course, not do the second part. You're not making us enough money. Get back to work. Well, now that you're back to work, we don't need to give you money. Because look, you're fine. You're back to work. Just circular logic. Circular logic over and over again. Round and round we go. We don't need to help you because you don't need to be helped because you're helping yourself. And if you weren't working, you would need help. But you're not doing that because you're back at work. Because we forced you back to work. And... bleh. It's fucking tilt-a-whirl. I hate it. How many times can I say I hate it? I'm just being redundant now. Governments could have been dispassionate observers, helping people from informed decisions for themselves. Oh my God. I just have this image of just like what we should have done is rich powerful people should have just been looking out the window and going, I gave you the information. Here, we'll give you more information. That looks bad down there, though. Let's go get more hookers and blow. Like, Jesus Christ. Dispassionate. I cannot believe you wrote this. Dispassionate observers. They should have just sat there and watched fucking people die and not did anything except for handed out pamphlets about how to not get COVID. Catch 22. If you're well enough to work, you don't need help. If you need help, you should go to work. Yeah. Because money makes the world spin to these jerks. Yeah, pretty much. This certainly would have reduced some of the controversy and outrage that the unprecedented lockdown measures produced. Okay, but how about reducing deaths? How about reducing cases? How about making it so less people are harmed in the process? How about we make for less fucking orphans instead of more? How about we do what's best for public health? Hey, dude, at what point are you going to address people fucking dying, people being permanently injured from this disease? When are you going to acknowledge that at all? When are you going to acknowledge that these are human beings being harmed? Why are you ignoring that instead of playing this weird numbers game where you're like, well, we can't stop the numbers. It's just a thing that's going to happen. Fuck it. Watch them die. Pamphlets on how to cope with the death in your family. Yeah. Had a conversation about how the price of milk has gone up so high. I said, remember, we wanted this. We were the one that asked for higher wages. It took a minute to get yelled at, but they haven't raised wages. Good times. That's my thing that I always say whenever I'm talking about raising the minimum wage or anything, they're always like, hey, but what about inflation? I'm always like, inflation is a constant anyways. It already costs more to live in a house. It already costs more to drive a car. It already costs more to buy food. The thing that doesn't cost more is labor. Is how much labor costs. That's been decreasing more than anything. How did I miss a chance to spill the milk? Stop. You're being messy, Skid. You're being messy. Stop. Public health costs money. In order to throw money at problems to fix them, we need to force people to make us money. We've been over this. Yeah, just circular logic of, but why do you need help? You're back to work. You're dying? Then why did you show up to work? 5 head? Yep. With such an approach, trust in public health institutions may have been maintained or even grown, and we might have avoided a culture war over mask mandates and vaccination. They would just move on to another culture war. Oh my fucking god. Then the controversy would be, why aren't they helping people? Because people are fucking dying. What about that? Lost in this entire article is the fact that people are hurt. People are dying. They're just like, fuck it. It's going to happen anyways. Let's not even acknowledge it. Let's grab our fucking testicles and we step over every dead body in the street. Just so long as it doesn't interrupt my ability to go to fucking Saks Fifth Avenue. Just sweep the bodies out of the way so they're not in the way of the door, sir. I've told the story before, and I'm haunted with this image that I'm stuck with from my family friends that work at fucking Sparrow Hospital as nurses who caught COVID from literally sifting through dead bodies in a semi-truck bed to search for wedding rings. This dude lives in the same state that happened in. My state, where I fucking live. Where people just fucking died. These fucking ghouls, absolute soulless human beings who look at us as just pieces of shit on the ground to be stepped over or stepped on. You want me to worship the rich. All these fucking sock dems and fucking people to the right of me who support capitalism. You want me to have any sort of sympathy towards these fucking people when they have no sympathy towards me. This is how they view you. You think they have an answer for this tragedy? No, it's the same answer that they have for fucking climate change. Let them die. We'll figure something out for us. They're just numbers. Their testing place is closed right now because all the employees have COVID. Jesus Christ, I didn't even know that. But does it surprise me? No. Now that I say it out loud, of course. Of course that's the case. Of course that's what's going on. The argument in this is basically we shouldn't make people upset by doing the right thing to prevent death. What we should do instead is just allow people to die and not have to deal with upsetting what is essentially just a third of our country. Can I show you guys something? Do you want to know why I stopped getting yelly on streams? Just ignore the mess down there. Come here, Zoe. Come here. She's shaking right now. That's why I don't yell, because she's got anxiety issues. Also, I don't want my son growing up in a house that just yells. I need to figure out one of these days. I hope to have like a streaming room where I can just be closed off and not be heard throughout the house like that. I like to get animated, but I don't do it anymore because it makes my puppy upset. Okay. I looked down. That's why I kept looking down, because I just saw her sitting there shaking. She gets so concerned when I get yelling. She doesn't like it when people are loud. We don't know what happened to her before she was rescued, but whatever it was, it traumatized her. But I wish I could explain to her. I wish I could explain to her that I'm literally reading a mainstream media article written by somebody who works as an educator in this state. I could find this guy. Midland is not that far away from Flint. I could go show up to this guy's house, and he has the audacity to write this article that basically just displays everyone who's dying of COVID as an inconvenience, and any measure that pisses people off, even though it increased our safety, even though there were positive effects from it. It upset some people, so we shouldn't do it. And her very kind nature might change a little. So maybe part of me is glad that I can't explain that to her. I read ahead to the last sentence. That last sentence is just... I'm going to read it and try not to get upset. Now politicians have a chance to win back some respect with a new approach that trusts individuals to act responsibly, whatever occurs next with COVID-19. Because I can't do it, even though I want to. That's how I feel right now. The second one is for me.
Big whoop, wanna fight about it?
Lord Fright has gifted a tier 1 sub to Freeze. They have given 130 gift subs in the channel.
Lord, thank you for gifting a sub to Frames. If you want to understand why I'm feeling this way, Frames, just take a moment, read this, and try to not punch through a fucking wall, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, it's right there. I could just put my fist through it and I would feel somewhat better. How is fear respect? What are medieval politicians but a bunch of kings and queens and feudal lords that you have to beg and grovel before just to have a chance to eat? Yeah, seriously. I am disturbed that these are the people in charge of our lives. And that somebody could actually write an article like this and be like, no, this totally doesn't make me sound like I'm a fucking ghoul. I'm just amazed. I'm absolutely amazed that someone like this could actually do that and not consider just how terrible this makes you look. Makes you look like an absolute cretin. Just an inhuman monster. The same groups that think they should be free to spread a disease is convinced that minorities are the reason their numbers are dwindling. Yeah. That article is not the way I wanted to end this stream because holy shit, but it had to be read. It had to be read. I'm going to have to clip that out. Because, unfortunately, the content mill is driven by watching people like me suffer through just reading and reacting to the worst bullshit that hurts us. Just one more time. Just the first one. Okay. Hey, it's Mark and Eli. I hope you're doing well. Hope you liked the video. If you liked it, why don't you like, comment, and subscribe? My child may stop picking on me.